Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom, and welcome to another exciting episode of So Frail Conversations. And as you've seen from the title, we're going to be talking about status. And no. This is not about status correction. This is not about getting your paperwork and your flag and your fez to go out in front of the police and say, you can't do this to me because I'm sovereign. No. This is about status as far as a societal standard and status in relation to respect. Yeah, I know I'm big on the ideation that respect is to men what love is to women. And I'm going to always speak about that. I'm going to always, address that because as men, that's what we are looking for. We're looking for respect, where women are looking for love. And the shit that we'll do for, respect determines what our status is going to be, or vice versa. The way in which we define our status is determined by what we think and what we deem is going to get us respect, right? So largely, as men, our respect is given to us for performative shit, right? I think it's humans, but it's so for a conversation. So as men, our respect is given to us by performative shit. Like, what can we do, right? And I'm learning that there's a difference between what you do and what you can give. And what we do is a function of the status that we develop. And what we give is a function of who the fuck we are and what we've experienced in this world. Because of status, a lot of us can't experience things, right? And I don't necessarily mean experience things in general, but I mean experience things that cater to who we are as a being, because we hide ourselves, or we never get a chance to explore our true self because we're repetitively and continually trying to develop a status that's going to get us respect, right? And So Frail 3 and So Frail 2, I talked about respect, but specifically in So Frail 1, one thing that I talked about in regards to respect is that when we as men are trying to find ourselves, trying to explore who we are, we define it one of two ways. We are either going to have hands or have hoes. Okay. What this means is that we're either going to be the physical, the very, very physical, like person, hands-on type motherfucker, or we're going to be the ladies' man, you know what I'm saying? And these two things these two things have important connotations on a bigger scale, because our statuses are defined into one of these two ways. Either you're going to have hands or you're going to have hoes. You feel what I'm saying? And it's a common thing because it ties into our status is predicated upon us getting women, right? What's getting women and what's getting money, right? So when you think about having hands and having hoes, right? The having hand side, you got to think about what that fuels, what energy it fuels. So having hands means that we cater to our violent side, right? That's as black men, we're divided into one of two things. Whether y'all are willing to accept this shit or not, or whether y'all are willing to admit it, society sees us in two ways. We're either violent or we're sexual. You feel what I'm saying? Not sensual, sexual. We'll get to sensual down the line, but not sensual, but sexual. So we're either very violent or we're very sexual. There's no in between for what they are willing to project and show what the black man is. It doesn't help that we cater to it, but you feel me? And we don't necessarily want to be the violent motherfucker. Everybody wants to be the ladies' man. Don't get me wrong. Not everybody wants to be the violent motherfucker, but it depends on how you're channeling the violence, because athletes are violent. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like when we look at either we're going to have hands or have hoes, that is because either your status is going to have you go down a medium of being violent, or your status is going to have you go down a medium of being sexual. If you make a choice to decide not to do either one of those things, be either one of those, you're going to have to start to internalize and question whether or not you're black enough. Your status is going to say, am I a black man because I'm not the one who's trying to have hands, or I'm not the one who's trying to have hoes, or vice versa. And in being classified as that, you're looking to say, I am more than this. Niggas need to see more than that. You feel me? But it's hard to see more than that because Our respect and our status are tied to two things, but what we're respected for is going to be down one of those two veins of having hands or having hoes. But before we dive heavy into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram _just_scene _ be sure to check out my website at iamjustseen.com to get all things that are just seen. To all those who tip, donate, and sponsor the podcast, you are greatly appreciated. To all those who would like to tip, donate, and sponsor the podcast, you can do so by clicking the link in the description of the podcast. Not this episode, but the podcast itself. And as always, Cash App and PayPal are just fine. And you know the vibes. That's that for this and that's this for that. So we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to dive into So Frail Conversations status. And don't forget to visit iamjustseen.com. There, you can get all things just seen. You want to add the So Frail series to your library? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to learn how to master the markets for serious trading and investing? Visit iamjustseen.com. You want to get your hands on some exclusive merch like tees, hoodies, coffee mugs, hats, bags? Visit iamjustseen.com. Are you thinking about transitioning into the plant-based lifestyle? Visit iamjustseen.com. You ever want to just chat with Scene about anything from simple advice to mentorship? Visit iamjustseen.com. Anything and everything that is me, you can find at iamjustseen.com. So take a quick peek into my world to see why being just seen is nothing less but always more. Because you never really know what you need until you see it, and you will never see it unless you visit iamjustseen.com. All right. Welcome back. And without further ado, we're going to dive straight into this motherfucker and we're going to get to it. All right. So, like I said, we're usually divided into having hands and having hoes, right? And those things are more so essential than actual titles, right? So I want to look at the essence behind them. To be violent, as we mentioned before, is protect and provide, or whatever the case may be. You are protected when you're violent. However, our violence is ignorant. You feel what I'm saying? I mentioned it. So for one, how we have barbarism and then we have warriorhood. On paper, on the surface, when you see it in battle, it looks the same, but it's not the same internally, because a warrior is a strategic fighter. A warrior is a calculated fighter. A warrior is not somebody, is a person who only fights for the fight. You feel me? Barbarians, on the other hand, they're different. They're literally violent for nothing. They just desecrate everything. Like, so much so that the term barbarian came defined into a person because it was a country. Not even a country, it's a place, really, like the Barbary Coast. The barbarians were the people who fought on the Barbary Coast so brutally that these niggas got their own picture. Like, you know how motherfuckers be like, yo, in the dictionary, you gonna see this person's face next to this word. No, in real fucking time, barbarians' face, like the motherfuckers who fought on the Barbary Coast, their name is in the picture next to the word barbarian in the dictionary. Literally. I mean, of course, dictionaries don't have pictures, but I mean it because that those battles were so brutal that they became barbarians. So you got to ask yourself, what is a barbarian? A barbarian is a violent motherfucker with no restraint, no discipline, no focus. So it's literally the opposite side of a warrior, because you got to think about, I heard a quote, I think it was by Aristotle, but you know they still. So it said, in the solitude of themselves, you can't tell the difference between a wild beast and a god. A barbarian is a wild beast. A warrior is a god in metaphorical context. Both are about violence, but one has a discipline with violence that the other one doesn't have. One has a control and an understanding of violence that the other doesn't have. So, as men, as black men, one thing that we're promoted to be is violent, right? We're promoted to be violent, and we're promoted to be sexual because everybody can benefit off of us in these two ways, right? Which in turn is going to dictate our status. I'm going to show you how our status is what we strive for early on is what we do. So our boys, they see it early. They see early that I only get respected if I have hands or if I have hoes. And I don't even necessarily have to have hands. If I look like I have hands and I can give off intimidation, I get a level of respect. So on one side, as a kid growing up, you might say, oh, I got to get big muscles. You feel me? Okay. But then on the other side of that, you have the ladies' man, the person who sees, oh, y'all will fuck with me because I'm always around the girls. Y'all will fuck with me because I'm always getting the girls. So I get my respect that way. Those are the two ways in which we get respect. So much so that when we look at art imitates reality, okay, all of our music is predicated off of that. I don't care whether it's trap music, whatever the case may be, whatever your genre of music is. If you prefer music that's predominantly black, it is either going to be over sexualized or going to be overly violent. Tell me I'm lying. You might get a few here and there where it gives you a positive message, but for the most part, the content of the whole, rap music is violent, R&B music is sexual. It's that simple. That's why those are the only two types of music they allowed us to record. They market, they push it because it's easy to market. Let me tell y'all something about marketing, guys. A motherfucker who markets. It's easier to market what you are. It's easier to market what a person is already, it's easily to market what is already presented on the table. So if the propaganda already shows that black men are violent, it's easy to market them violently. Because, oh, this is how they are. So when I have to drop my album, when I have to play this movie role, when I have to, it's like, oh, it's going to be violent. You're going to play something violent. You're going to be a drug dealer, in a sense. You're going to be a gangster, mobster, crooked cop. You feel me? Or you'll be a pimp. You'll be a ladies' man. You'll be something like, your entertainment factor is going to be tied to one of these things. Because they market us according to how they perceive us. We seek status according to how they'll validate us. So our status is always going to be determined by what the oppressor wants us to be, right? So now, when we're violent, you have multiple out. Like between these two dynamics of how they programmed us to be either violent or sexual, they literally have a way to make money off of us in every single way. For one, right? Our own culture has done this to us. Children are to be seen and not heard. All right, to be seen. When you automatically set the turn and that children to be seen and not heard, you minimize the fact of the voice. So any words that they develop, any thoughts that they have, they keep to themselves, right? Those thoughts that could change the world, but rather what they'll do is they'll show actions, right? That gets them seen. If I'm not heard, fuck it, I will be seen. That's why we have, in our culture, oh, some new people come around and say, oh, you showing off. You're right, I gotta be seen. I can't be heard. So I'm gonna be seen. And when I'm being seen, I'm gonna act the fuck out. Right. So that sets the tone of programming to say, as a child, I know that I'm only supposed to be seen. So I have to grow up to be an entertainer. I can't grow up to be a thinker or a messenger because I'm muted. Children to be seen and not heard. So in my life, I grow up, okay, bam, I have to be seen. So how do I get seen, entertained? It's one of those two ways. So like I said, they have a way because our cultural programming and then the way the society has programmed us and shit, and then the way we just been programmed for the last X amount of 100 years, we now exhibit that. When we think a man is a man, ask a woman what a protector is. I need a man who's going to be this, that, and third. Like women don't even realize that they pick men according to how much he can be perceived as a threat. You feel me? See, they talk about body shaming when we say we don't like fat women because you can lose weight. Shut up. Love me for me. Shut up. You can lose weight. I can't gain height. Like the fuck. You feel me? I'm fortunate enough to be tall. You feel what I'm saying? But it's like there's little things like that. So it's like as men, we have to understand what's what. You feel me? Because we don't get some of the same luxuries, right? So in being violent, right, in that being the route, we have to decide which way we're going to quote unquote gain the status for being violent. Are we gonna be a gangster? You feel me? We're gonna be the thug. We're gonna be, thug like bitch. We running these streets. You could run the streets with your thugs. Or are we gonna take that same violence and put it somewhere? Oh, I'm gonna play football so I can hit people and get it all out. That's not gonna stop you from understanding violence. It's gonna make you channel the violence a different way, a way that makes somebody else profitable. Because never mind. You feel me? Or I'm gonna play a sport in some way, shape, or form so I can take this anger and challenge it. I'm gonna take this violence that they want me to be, and I'm gonna channel it positively so I don't go to jail, but you still go to serve another purpose. The violent motherfucker who go to jail, bitch, we got you for life. And we're gonna make heavy profit off of you because we're gonna get you to do fucking, just for metaphors, we're gonna get you to do $50 an hour work for 33 cents a day. Maybe 40 cents because of inflation. I don't know. But 50 cents a day, we're gonna get you to do $50 an hour work. and make you work a whole day. You feel me? Because we're going to find a way to make you, get you capitalized on, right? Now, that's the violent side. Because again, like I said, you could be the rapper, the gangster, whatever the case may be. And now, motherfuckers is like, what do you do with your violence? Nigga, I'm violent, bruh. I don't give a fuck, nigga, I'm violent, bruh. All right, cool. Can you be disciplined with your violence? Because then you become a barbarian, right? And I know this is about status, and we're going to get to status, but we got to get to the core. We got to get to the core because all of our statuses are going to be divided into one of these two things. Like the way and the reason in which we seek success is going to be because of one of these two things. You see what I mean? So that's the violent side. They encourage you to be violent, you know what I'm saying? Be the stone faced motherfucker. Because everybody wants to protect it, right? Because there's going to be a way in which you take this violence and you're able to use it to say, hey, my status is tied to violence. So now I'm a authority figure, or I'm a person who's this, like, you know what I'm saying? I lift weights, I'm strong, I'm this, that, and the third. I exhibit the expression of violence. That's it. Like I said, when a woman describes the type of man that she wants, he got to be tall. He got to be buff and built and muscular. He has to be, you know what I'm saying? It's certain things like, oh, he has to give off the presence that he's a violent motherfucker, that he looks violent. Because all of the attributes, you know what I'm saying? The stone face and shit, like, don't nobody really want no soft motherfucker, no goofy motherfucker, no playful motherfucker. Because it's like, in violent times, can you get violent? We're in a space right now where the only type of motherfucking man that, only type of black man that is actually optionable for everybody, for you know what I'm saying, is the violent black man, right? But at the same time, it's a violent black man who doesn't know what to fight for. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, motherfuckers want that gangster shit. Motherfuckers want that violent streak, that violent side, but they don't know that the person lacks the discipline to be violent. You're dealing with a barbarian far more than you're dealing with a warrior, and they're out here calling, oh, I need a warrior spirit. The warrior spirit and the barbarian spirit has the same energy. It's about death and destruction. It's about murder and mayhem. It's about killing shit. Motherfuckers like want the violent shit until it's time to do some violent shit or to be around some violent shit. Then it's all scary. It's all scary. You want to protect and a provider. You want a gangstified motherfucker till he does some gangstified shit. Now, as a motherfucker, this isn't me complaining in any way, shape, or form, saying, the girls didn't like, they like the thug. I was running with the thugs that the girls like too. So I had the hoes just the same way. But at the same time, I wasn't that violent. I was violent. Never mind. Never mind. I'm gonna change the subject because I'd be lying. I was violent as shit. We was all violent. I just made the choice to say, you know what? I don't want to be that violent anymore because I felt like it's stupid. I felt like ultimately it's like, why are we like this? Like this is our only option. When I look at my childhood friends, like my group, I didn't have friends that did things outside of violence and whole shit. And I know I could have made friends outside of that, but I didn't because those niggas was corny. Not that they were corny, but they were corny. You feel what I'm saying? The perception was corny because you wasn't violent and you wasn't getting hoes. Nigga, what the fuck we got to do with that? Because I need to know at any given time if we out riding, we can get the hoes, but if some shit pop off, you got my back. This ties into a lot deeper aspect because that shows that if our perspective is to have hands or have hoes, literally we're programmed only for survival, to procreate and to defend ourselves. Sit with that. Sit with that. We are wired to only defend ourselves and procreate. When did we gain that type of information and insight? When did we gain that capacity to only be violent and be sexual, to defend ourselves and to procreate? As slaves. I'm not even going to say as slaves. I got to stop saying that because that during slavery, we were either going to be the Mandingo fighters or some shit like that, the procreators who have hands and have hoes. You got to defend yourself and procreate. Basic forms of survival. Root chakra shit. This is why I'm so adamant on, getting your chakras and shit right. This is why I tell y'all to read So Frail I 1 through 3. Like, I don't just be playing with this shit. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all some shit that can really put you on path to elevate yourself. Because we're not just violent ladies, men. You feel me? And I'm gonna get to that part right now. You feel me? Because it's gonna get to the status. So we choose the violence, and it's like, okay, if I'm violent, that's I'm gonna be strong. I'm gonna channel the violence and work out, channel the violence and get bigger muscles, channel the violence, but never understand the violence. Niggas get violent and channel the energy rather than understanding the violence, understanding what it takes to be violent. So that way you don't necessarily have to channel the energy, or you can direct where the energy is channeled, and you can actually understand it. A lot of people talk about it's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener in a war, but these niggas don't want bloodshed. You can't. I know it sounds better to be a warrior in a garden, but you got to understand that a warrior is willing to lay shit down outside of the garden. And it's missing the fact that a lot of people don't understand. Like, people be thinking that the warrior is just, oh, I trained. No, like, no, nigga, I'm tired of fighting. That's why I'm in the garden now. I don't train and just keep training. No, I've already been to battle. I have the experience. See, that's the thing. Here's what a lot of people want. They want you to have 4 levels of the mind. They want you to have at least the knowledge of warfare, the knowledge of violence and shit like that. Niggas don't even have the knowledge of that. They just believe that they can be violent. They haven't even gone through the antithesis of violence. You feel what I'm saying? So you don't even have the knowledge base to be violent. So how the fuck you gonna have the experience to be violent? The experience of being violent is very, very powerful because you don't think when you're being violent in any way, shape, or form, because you can't, because your body shuts down certain things. So all you can do is act. It shuts down. And when you're in a fight or flight response and you're in active battle, certain things shut down. So your body can only focus on the fight. You dig what I'm saying? And if you don't fight it, you flee. Certain things will shut down so your body can only focus on the flee. You ever been afraid and just took off running from something and you see nothing else? It's like you got blinders, but the only thing you see is the path in front of you and the obstacles that are immediately in front of you. So you could probably get tripped and slipped up or whatever the case may be. But these are the things that they want us to be. So if we're continually violent, that means we're not thinking. And if we are thinking, we only thinking about these hoes. So that programs the other side of us. The ladies, man. You feel me? Women simultaneously hate the men that they create. Y'all create us. Y'all create us because of our statuses. Our status, the statuses that we achieve is solely to get y'all, because we're broken down to only being violent and to be sexual. So we can defend ourselves or we can procreate. That's it. That's what we're programmed for. Motherfuckers, why would you fuck anything, man? I'll fuck anything. Look at what we're programmed for. If we fucking anything, y'all fucking anything too. Because y'all fucking us. You feel me? So all of the anythings that we be fucking, are you the anything when we fuck anything? Y'all don't want to say that shit. That should be getting him on there. Man, I'll fuck anything. Did he fuck you? Yeah, but I'm not anything. Maybe not to you, baby girl. But anyway, when we're caught up in this rapture and shit, when we're caught up in this rapture from the sexual side, this is where we get. You see what I'm saying? Look at the other side of music. Look at the other side of entertainment. I'm not just gonna say music, entertainment. Our entertainment as men is either gonna be violent. Think about it. You already seen it. Or it's gonna be sexual. Right? Sexual in the sense that we might even be playing a violent role and be over sexualizing the situation just so we can, you know what I'm saying? It's sexualized. Like, so we're taught to be the presentable man who's always going to be on the face to say, yo, I can get hoes. How do you get hoes without getting hoes? You can't. It takes practice. You have to constantly go and get hoes. So you have to constantly talk to women a certain way. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. Because you can't be a ladies' man without being a womanizer. It don't work. It don't work, man. Sad thing about it, a lot of women want the men they want those men, but they don't want to be exploited from the. You can't get both. You're gonna be womanized. If you want that man that really has status, you're gonna be womanized, because now my ego gets involved, because these two things are what now. This is where we get to. This is why we end up talking about alpha shit. You feel me? So yeah, the hoes and shit, hoes, cars, clothes, all of that shit. I'm trying to move it on because I see how much time it's gonna take. So those are the other aspect to it. So if we look at our entertainment, like I said, the heartthrobs, all of the entertainers, you got to go through some kind of workout plan, or like, no motherfucker gets to actually just be, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna go through a workout plan. Oh, for this new role of this movie, I got to do this shit. Nigga, you don't even work out like that for real. That's not even innately in you to work out like that. But why are you working out like that? For the screen, so I can continue to give what? Sex appeal. Give me sexy, give me sexy. You feel what I'm saying? When that sex appeal is gone, you don't market me anymore. Think about it. Think about it. When the sex appeal is gone, it's not marketable anymore. So you have to find a way to make the sex appeal. Wayne was funny. Is like growing up watching Wayne, like I was like, you feel me? A lot of people used to, a lot of the older ladies used to be like, yo, Wayne was a little ugly, like a little mouse and shit. But the girls my age used to like him. They're like, I love me some Lil Wayne. He's so fine. He this, that, and the third, and blah, blah, blah. And I'm using him because it's like the sex appeal wasn't there. That's not why y'all fucked with him. It was because he was running with some gangsters. He was doing some gangster shit. You feel me? Violent shit. He was talking about rapping and killing and doing violent shit. It's like, oh, I like Wayne. He's violent. Ah. And then it's like, when the motherfucker get sex appeal, it becomes a different type. Think about it. Block is Hot, Lil Wayne is different from Earthquake, Lil Wayne. Just listen to the lyricism. Listen to the way in which they deliver themselves. Any artist, listen to the gangster shit, then listen to the shit for the ladies. It's different. It's different. Now imagine when you're not just dabbling back and forth between those two things, but you're picking a side and staying there. You dig what I'm saying? And these are the two sides. So if you look at the Drakes, look at the Jay-Z's, the Lil Waynes, the T.I.'s, look at it. Listen to their music. It's either gonna be violent or sexualized. You feel me? I'm either fucking some bitches or I'm beating some niggas up, killing some niggas and trapping. That's it. That's it, bro. Well, even now the new niggas is using the drugs, but still, that's you feel me? That's violence in its own because that's violence against the self. To do drugs is to be violent against yourself because you're harming yourself. That's what violence is harm. You feel me? All of the shit that they teach us to glorify is the shit that is either gonna make us violent in some way, shape, or form, or make us over sexualized, and we just run with it. So when we look at the over sexualization of ourselves and all of this shit, like we're expected to be good fucks. We're expected to slang dick and do all of this shit. Like we're expected to do this shit. Even our women don't even realize. Like they'll tell us, don't over sexualize us. Y'all expect sexualization out of us. That's a whole different. Like there's a difference between lusting over a woman and saying, yo, I want to fuck her, than having the standard set to you that you have to be a good fuck. That's different. That's different. Think about what the standard is. Our woman went strong wind with a big dick, and you like, damn, y'all really just, hmm. I heard this song by Raphael Sadiq and D'Angelo called "Be Here," and he said, "Yo, I got more than just some good dick and some money." I think that's what Raphael Sadiq said, or D'Angelo said, and then the other one said, "I got more than just a big dick and some money." And it's like, wow. As R&B niggas, y'all ain't violent. Y'all ain't gangsters. Y'all ain't out here killing. So that's y'all side. And then I see it. Y'all are, you feel me? Y'all are the side who has to be for the ladies. The sexualized side for the ladies. You feel me? And it's like, wow, those are the only two ways we get to be men. That's wild. Well, there's another way now, but I'm not discussing that way because y'all get offended. You feel me? But those are the only two ways we get to be men. That's crazy as fuck when you really sit and think about it. We either going to be violent or over sexualized. So when our status is predicated upon that, and our respect is to men, what love is to women, respect is to men, what love is to women. When we're looking for our respect, it has to be linked and tied into that. So our status has to be something that, one, we can either have the face of violence with, or we can be the ladies' man with. Corporate America, you're not violent anymore. You're just not. So what do you have to do? Have your suit and tie and have your good prestigious job. So when you're seen, you look important. That status is sex appeal at that point. You see what I'm saying? The ties and the power suits and all of that shit, it look good, but it gives you the sex appeal. It don't give you shit else. It don't give you authority. How many motherfuckers I seen with suits stupid as fuck? You dig what I mean? That shit different, right? It's very different. But the violent side is already there. You feel me? Because now you're in the suit and tie and all this shit. It's a position of power. So it's violence that doesn't have to be asserted because there's a level of importance that I don't want to fuck with him. Not in the sense like robbery or no shit like that, but you know what I'm saying? Crazy things like that. But these are where we get our statuses from. So even then, let's break it down to how the status is developed. You either have what? Blue collar or white collar workers. White collar workers are the ladies' men. Blue collar workers are the violent motherfuckers who ain't violent no more. What have they done? They've channeled their violence into using hands-on work. The carpentry, the contractors, the construction workers, all that. Those are blue collar workers. They already showed you that it's broken down. Those are the blue collar workers. But the white collar workers, those are the over sexualized motherfuckers, the narcissists, the motherfuckers that it's because everything is tied to getting tied to a status that is associated with getting women. The status tied to being violent is I don't have to be violent anymore, but now I can work with my hands. I can still be strong. That violence is an energy that you use when you're building strength. Anyway, so it ties to that. You feel me? But the thing about being a ladies' man is that it's an insatiable appetite that we can never feel. So the more our status improves, the change in the ladies happens. When you move tax brackets, it's different. When you move job positions, it's different. I bullshit you motherfucking not. Before I got promoted to an account manager, because when I first started working with the company, I was 25, right? So I was just a regular valet. You feel me? I had to wear the valet shoes, non-slip, so you can run and not slip on no oil, some regular black pants, black shirt that was provided by the company and shit. So I looked like a regular, you feel me? So there was this shorty that worked at the hotel's front desk and shit. Like bad, like bad. I used to try to talk to her all the time. Like just go in and have a regular conversation. Like we eventually had like real conversations and shit. It was cool and shit. And then it was just like, okay. It was like entertaining, but you're just the valet. I was like, all right, cool. And it's like, it made me think of the Kanye shit. Like, yo, he got that ambition, baby. But me, I know where I was going because at the time I was working on my books and all that shit. So I knew where I was going, but I could see what happened. So when I got promoted and I changed my whole attire changed, it's literally like I moved up. I changed the status. I'm like, y'all know I'm still the same motherfucker. So much so that it was the very next day. So I got promoted. The very next day was like, no, the next week. It said, yo, I'm gonna give you, cause I think I had like 2 I'm gonna give you these 2 days off. Whatever, because you're gonna need some suits and shit. So go ahead and get your shit straight. I'm gonna tell you where to go. He put like my manager hooked me up. So I went there, found a and got some suits. So, and you know what I'm saying? He just directed me where to get the suits from. I knew how to put my shit together. So I got the shit. So now I'm at work. And then that same person that I talked to, she comes outside and she's like, oh my gosh, you clean up nice. I was like, so I looked at her like, can we joke and we play? I was like, I don't be dirty. Like, what the fuck is you saying? She was like, nah, I'm just saying, like, I never seen you in a suit. I said, because you never had a reason to. Right. And she was like, oh, so I was like, yeah. I was like, how did I change? Only thing that changed was the perception of my status. A status that made me a higher level of a ladies' man. You feel what I'm saying? Even at that level that I was before I even just put the suit on, essence wise, I still could have got her. I had her laughing, I bagged her, and all that. But it changed because I guess she was like, at the time, let me show you. Because at the time, I think she was like the senior leader of the front desk. She was like the front desk manager or some shit like that, but she was the senior front desk manager or some shit because she been there, had the tenure and shit. So I get it. I don't have manager on my name. The moment I get because it wasn't assistant account manager. No, I wasn't assistant account manager. They eventually changed it to associate manager because they said, we don't want you to feel like you're beneath the nigga, shut the fuck up. Nigga, feelings ain't hurt, but I'm still getting paid. So we eventually, you know what I'm saying? I started off as just basic valet. And then I come up and now I have manager on now all of a sudden my status changed and now the sex appeal changed, the appeal changed, the status, because the status is like, oh, now you can get these type of I could have been got y'all. The fuck you mean? The fuck you mean? Now you see me because of the way that I'm dressed. You no longer demean me in your mind because of the appearance that I have. You feel what I'm saying? Same shit. Like no funny shit. Like I ran into this chick on a train twice. Right? The first time, I never forget it. It was funny as shit because she literally told me, boy, bye, not with them shoes on. I was just getting off work. And she was like, boy, bye, not with them shoes on. I said, damn, you feel me? Seen her a couple months, like not even a couple months. I think like a month and a half after the promotion and shit. Like I seen her. And then she just kept looking at me. And she was like, "You look familiar." I said, "Yeah, I tried to speak to you before, but it was, she was like, She said, "I like your tie, whatever the case may be. I'm always color coordinating and shit. Like, I know how to do the shit." So she's like, "I like your tie. That ain't what you like." But all right, I was like, "Thank you," and shit. Trying to have a conversation. I'm like, nah, my thing is like, yo, we can't talk now. Like, my status changed, but my essence remained. And this is the whole purpose of this episode, because as men, we have to focus only on our status. And then focusing on our status, it has to be like your entire character is going to be created off of one of those two things. Either I'm going to be violent in some way, shape, or form, which means I'm going to be, physical, heavy, or I'm going to be a ladies' man, which means I'm going to be more mental, emotional, and thought process type shit. But at the end of the day, I'm going to express myself according to one of these two dynamics, and I'm going to build myself according to that. And in building myself, I'm creating status. Status. We are now in a space where women are demanding, "Oh, I need a man who has six." Like, it's women who come from 4-figure fathers. Now, I ain't gonna diss them like that. There's women who come from 5-figure fathers who want 6-figure men. I get it. The next step up, or whatever the case may be, your father does not know how to handle 6 figures because he's not handling 6 figures. But you want a man who handles 6. You're not even of 6-figure upbringing. How do you know what you need to be there, right? So these statuses that we have to achieve, it sucks for us because as Black men, our status is predicated, of course, upon, like I said, those two things, those dynamics. But those dynamics are survival tactics, which means that if those dynamics are survival tactics, and we get our women off of the status we develop from those survival tactics, that means our women's standard is based off of survival too. I want a man who can procreate with me and defend me. That's crazy, bro. When you really sit and think about it, like, fuck all of the mysticism and all the bullshit. Listen to the argument. Like, you motherfuckers is giving 1.5, 2-hour podcast episodes arguing with opposite sexes or whatever the case may be about this very topic, right? Women, we got to go half, and everybody like, look at what it is: half, protect, provide, nurture, and sustain. If I got to take care of the house, you have to protect and provide, and you got to pay for everything, right? Basic levels of survival. You feel me? You got to be able to defend me and have my children, and then defend the children too. That's it. You don't need to have character. You don't need to have integrity. You don't need to have morals. You don't need to have personality. You don't need to have none of that shit. You have to have status. With status, you can look beyond all that other shit. Motherfuckers really be socially awkward, but they be, esteemed and shit. Because I got status. Like, it's crazy as fuck. Like, when I left school and I was no longer in that shit, like motherfuckers, I don't know, it's weird. Motherfuckers think I'm stupid. I know y'all don't, but motherfuckers legit think I'm stupid because I'm like, yo, I'm not in school no more. Like, if I tell motherfucker, it's like, yo, if I tell motherfucker, like, not even tell them, motherfucker, I only have to, like, if I'm having a regular conversation, they be like, I've had a conversation with motherfuckers, I can tell you didn't graduate. Like, I don't know what gave them the confidence to say this shit, but again, it's status. Because when they can't perceive your status from the physical, they're gonna make whatever assumption they want. So like, damn, I can see you didn't go. I said, actually, I did. I graduated with honors and a degree in forensic biology. And then we went into another. They was like, oh wow, never judge a book by its cover. But at the same time, judge a book by its cover because that's why it's the cover. Duh, you feel me? So I wasn't too mad about the shit because I get it. You feel me? You're supposed to feel like that. That's what an assumption is. That's what an impression is. Like, you feel me? I gave you the impression that I gave you the impression that this is what I feel like expressing myself as. But you feel what I'm saying? So in that expression, you either have, like I said, you either have hands or you have hoes. So on the other side of that, if you can't do that, right, what do you bring to the table? This is the question. Because this is the question that we keep asking. Ladies, what do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table outside of the essence we already programmed for? You feel me? Because now we have to live up to the status and we can't use the essence. You feel me? I'm a violent motherfucker, right? I said that before on podcast episodes, and it ties to this. So it made me being violent easy, but I'm violent by some other shit. You feel me? It wasn't by the programming necessarily. The programming just heightened it. You feel me? I was already a violent motherfucker just because life made me violent. You feel me? But in understanding violence, it helped me pull it. I never liked violence. That's what my thing was. I didn't use violence as a point of definition for myself. I'm violent as shit. I just hated it. I hate fighting. I can, but you feel me? I hate that shit. I remember I was fighting somebody one time, and the dude called my sister. Well, no, let me rephrase that because I beat him up for nothing. I really beat him up for nothing, and I feel bad that I beat him up for nothing because I listened to somebody who just wanted me to be violent. This ties into the story. So the dude came up to me and was like, "Yo, such and such called your sister a bitch." Everybody knows. They knew since I was a kid. I do not play about my sister. I don't play about my brother either, but I really don't play about my sister. I got this phrase, I'm my brother's keeper, but I'm my sister's reaper. I do not play about my sister. So when you tell me anything about my sister in the negative, I believe it. I don't care. So when dude said, such and such called your sister a bitch. Oh, say less. Say less. As soon as I seen him, I said, all right, well, when I see him, I'm gonna fade him. They laughing. But my sister, like, yo, she knew. I was like, yo, did he? Well, I got to rewind that because my sister didn't know at the time. Because when she like, hey, why you didn't ask me? I said, there was no point in asking you because your best friend told me that he called you a bitch. You feel me? But her best friend, he liked to see me fight. He liked to see me fight. I never knew that he was doing this shit. Like, he would literally put bets on me. Like, he would tell niggas and shit. A lot of the fights that I got in was because this nigga was betting on me. And I had to dust the nigga off. You feel me? I didn't even know what the fuck's going on. Motherfucker just come out, yo, Ray, you want to scrap? I didn't, but we can. Like, what the fuck? I was a wild boy, man. I'm telling you. Shit, I was violent and shit. I was like, nigga, I didn't, but we can. Ping, ping, ping. We fighting and shit. And then I find out that it's like motherfuckers placing bets on me and shit. Like, he said, yo, I put my money on Ray to knock you out right now. Motherfucker like, nah, man, cause we boys and shit like that. And it's like, why y'all niggas? I didn't realize what the fuck was happening because I was so young. These are the OGs. These are the old heads. They're like 7, 8 years older than me. So, you feel me? So, I've always been that violent motherfucker anyway. So I didn't have to walk into that space and say, I'm violent now. Nah, I've been that. I've been that. So when they told me that he called my sister bitch, I ran up on him. And I was like, hey, yo, you called my sister bitch? He said no. That was the end of it. But see, our culture, pride is a motherfucker. I know because I had to do this a couple of times and I've done this a couple of times. You can literally have nothing to do with the situation, but it's like, I got to make it a problem now. You feel me? Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like, you can have, but like, let's pretend I did. Like, I had niggas. I got into several situations where motherfuckers like, yo, I heard you don't like me. I would have told you directly, and I ain't said that. But let's pretend I did. What you gonna do? That was me. I love the confrontation. I still do. I was like, yo, I'm in my mind because like I feel like when you approach me with confrontation, one or two things you're trying to do. Either you trying to punk me and prove that oh yeah, I said something to him, he ain't do shit, or you really want to fight. So that's my only option, really. You feel me? Because I can't let you prove that. Because if we don't fight, and then I say, all right, yeah, do it, and then now yeah, see now I walked up on that nigga, he ain't say shit. Ran up on him, he ain't say shit, he ain't do shit. Nigga was shook. No, nigga, it just wasn't that time for what you were talking about. I didn't have to get violent. Like you didn't come at me like you trying to make everybody else think you came at me. You feel me? So, I have motherfuckers like, yo, you want to fight? I didn't, but let's pretend that I did. Let's pretend that I did. I really got to know what you're going to do now. Now let's create the scenario as if all of this is me wanting to fight. Now let's do it. Oh no, I was just saying. I know you was just saying, right? Because you wanted to make it look like if I just walked away from the shit. Oh yeah, he a bitch. I bitched him. You didn't want to fight, but you want to see you like I do. So don't. You feel me? I'm sorry, y'all, but I'm making this point because I'm tying this all to status because it all goes hand in hand, right? So I tell dude, I'm like, yo, you call myself? He's like, no. And then this is where it changes. He's like, but let's pretend I did. I stuck him right in the mouth on principle because I said, yo, if I don't stick off on you, you can't walk away from this. I'm like, yeah, but then I told him, let's pretend I did. Like he ran up on me for nothing. I can't let you do that. So I stuck him. Bing. When I stuck him, he fell off the bike. Right? He got back up. At this time in my life, I never stomped anybody out. I always had that that respect in fights where it was, bam, you fell. All right, get up, bro. I'm not gonna kick you while you're down. Get up. We can fight. And that's for me. I realized that I was so confident in my skill set as a fighter. I didn't need to kick you while you were down. Get your ass up. I'm gonna knock you back down again. Get up. Get up. Square up. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna give you the fair one the whole time. You're not gonna have to cover your head. I'm not gonna stomp you out. None of this shit. That's how I was at the time. Mind you, I'm like 12. So when I stick off on him, you feel me? We square up and shit. He get off his bike, but then when I hit him the second time, boom, that's when he fell. When he fell, my homie was there because my homie, he just wanted to see the fight. I thought he just wanted to see the fight. He jumped in. And this was the first time I seen the brutality in a fight because when he jumped in, he stomped him in his head. I kicked somebody in the stomach before, and then he had asthma, and I knocked the wind out of him, but that was different. But damn, I said that was different. But anyway, my homie was stomping on his head. He kicked him in his head. Like, I was like, it don't gotta be like this, bro. Like, we don't have to take it this far. Like, I'm like, yo, stop, bro. Like, and at that point, I realized, like, as we, you know, we jumped him, but it was a one-on-one fight in the beginning. You feel me? I was already beating him up, and then my homie jumped in, so it wasn't like we jumped him from the, you know what I mean? So I don't want it to be coming off like that, like I was a bitch or some shit. I need my homie to help me. He just chose to do it, and I think I knew what he was doing. He planted a seed to make me indebted to him because I had to return the favor. He knew me as a person. I was like, I'm gonna return this favor because I owe you now. I don't owe you because I didn't need the help, but I owe you. So from there, we just, you know what I mean, became violent motherfuckers who would jump people. You know what I'm saying? But he would still fight one-on-one. I would still fight one-on-one. But nigga, if you got us together, you getting fucked up. It's that simple. I was always on some shit like, and then until it got to when I remember, I think I had to be like 13 or 14 maybe. And that's when I was like, y'all, we ain't doing this jumping shit. Right. I think we only jumped like one person. We jumped one person twice. The dude that, you know what I'm saying, we jumped. Because the second time I was like, I'm just returning the favor because, you know, you jumped in, like whatever. And it's like after that, the debt was clear. I said, I'm not, you know. But it got to the point where I had to tell my niggas. They was like, yo, I got you. No. If I'm losing, don't jump in. Let me lose. I'm not letting my mans lose like that. Let me lose if I'm losing. I said, and if you jump in and you help me, when it's done, you have to shoot me the fair one. I was serious about that. They was like, nigga, you gonna make me scrap with you if I... Yes. Yes, because I always knew that that's how shit escalate to bigger shit. People be thinking niggas get shot in the hood because motherfuckers are scared to shoot. No, motherfuckers are scared to get jumped. Niggas ain't scared of a one-on-one fight. Like, that's the thing. Motherfuckers, I hate how the old heads put that shit. They be like, you feel me? Yeah, back in Monday, we ain't used the gun. We used our hands. We ain't, yeah, because y'all was bitches. Because y'all was bitches and y'all only fought little niggas. You feel me? It was always these big bulky motherfuckers fighting little skinny. Like, they got, it's so many songs, so many lines because our immateriality. In the city where the skinny nigga died. No, skinny nigga 4-5 on the side. Like, you feel what I'm saying? Why? Because they not fighting other big niggas. Debo won't pulling that shit with them niggas around the corner. He was fucking with Craig and Smokey and Red. You feel me? Because that's how big niggas is. That's how bullies are. You feel me? That's how violent motherfuckers are who don't want to get violent with motherfuckers who can get violent with them. They fuck with people who can't do shit to them. Debo fuck with Felicia. He fuck with Nia Long's character, Smokey. He ain't fuck with them fools around the corner. You know why? Because them fools around the corner would have fucked him up. And he knew it. They can get just as violent. You feel what I'm saying? So in real time, we have to face this. So the old heads say, oh, back in my day, we would take a fight. No, y'all wouldn't. Y'all couldn't take a fight. That's why niggas started jumping motherfuckers. It wasn't us that started jumping. We adopted the behavior. Y'all niggas started jumping. We started shooting. So who was really the bitch? Niggas scared to take an ass whooping. No, we wasn't scared. We were never scared to take. We're not afraid to take ass whoopings, but we are not about to get stomped the fuck out. Because that generation started that shit. The very generation that's criticizing the generation that's shooting is the very generation that started the jumping and shit because they couldn't shoot fair ones. Again, to the core, violence. Right? So now they like, yo, why these young bulls just out here? Because I know when y'all's niggas say y'all gonna pull up on me, it ain't to shoot me the fair one. So I'm coming to shoot. It's not even gonna be a one-on-one fight. I'm coming to shoot. And I don't want to shoot. So I just want to scare people and shit. So that's when the other shit come in. Because again, motherfuckers ain't disciplined with the violence. These niggas don't train. They holding the gun sideways. They're not trying to hit nobody. That's why they doing drive-bys. They don't do walk downs. You see what I'm saying? So they taught this shit. Like it's just the younger generation just wanted to start shooting. No, nigga, I remember when the gun started coming up. Nigga, we weren't getting jumped no more. We was too small. You feel me? We was way too small for that shit. You dig what I mean? I remember the first time. I ain't get jumped. I never gotten jumped in my life. But I remember the first time I got a threat that I was gonna get jumped. I was in the 6th grade. I was gonna get jumped by like 8 niggas. And the 8 niggas that I was gonna get jumped by were all of the quote unquote fighters of the 6th grade. Like fighters. Like it's like you knew them for fighting. The violent side. Like that's what you knew them for. So much so that 6th grade, it was supposed to be jumping me, right? It was a decent amount of them. It was well, it wasn't 8. I'm just exaggerating. It was 5. It was 5. So one of them, we was cool. And so I just got a words like, yeah, nigga, if me and you. So some dude told me, because I was about to scrap him down. You feel me? But he tells me, yeah, man, if we ain't cool by the time the end of the year come, shit, I already know what's gonna happen. Hey, what you mean? You already know what's gonna happen. What you mean? Oh, yeah, it's gonna go down. Okay. So he's like, yeah, cause it's cool. I said, all right, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and fade you right now. So you can go tell the niggas who gonna jump me that I'm ready. You feel what I'm saying? Dude didn't want to fight. Because the way in which it was, I was no longer, I was like, it wasn't a fight for me at that point because I know I'm going to get jumped tomorrow. Like, that's what I felt. I said, oh, I'm going to get jumped tomorrow. So I was about to fight this nigga, but he didn't want to fight. And so I would have hurt him real bad because I was like, I got to prove a point. So when we go to school, the mutual friend that I had out of the 5 that was supposed to jump me, I was like, hey, yo, y'all supposed to be jumping me, bro? He was like, what? I said, I got message yesterday that you, and I named out the other dude, like, y'all going to jump me. So I'm like, look, bro, we supposed to be homies. So if this is what I said, you know me. You know where I live. You know how I get down. We can fight one-on-one. We don't have to do it. I was like, yo, but for you, you're like, nah, bro, ain't nobody gonna jump you. I don't even know where the fuck that came from. So that same day, after I'm questioning him, I guess he went back and told him or whatever, told the dudes or whatever. So again, in my mind, I don't give a fuck what you talking about, bro. I gotta worry about what was said. I'm from an area where if a motherfucker say they're gonna do something to you, you gotta believe it. When a motherfucker said they was gonna shoot me, I had to believe they was gonna shoot me. You feel me? Motherfucker said it was gonna jump me. I had to believe it was gonna jump me, bro. There was no other way around it. You feel me? It just so happened that there was bitches. But when these dudes wasn't bitches at the end of the day, like they just really wasn't gonna jump me. So I go to the bathroom, the bell ring, I go to the bathroom, all 5 of these niggas in the bathroom. I said, oh shit, I walk in, right? First, I ain't even gonna hold you. When I walked in the first time, I seen all 5 of them, made eye contact, and I turned around. That was the logic side in me, right? Ego said, if you keep walking, they gonna think you a bitch. They gonna think you got scared when you seen them. I was like, nah, I just didn't want to. It's 5 of these niggas, bro. I was being smart. Ego got in the way. I said, fuck it. I went back in that motherfucker. I went to pee. And it was like, and one of the dudes that ultimately like we beef. And this was crazy because me and him ended up beefing for like 3 years. So I was like, the fuck? So we he was one of those people known for fighting. So and his story, me and him beef ties into this episode perfectly. So he he's like, yo, so you Curtis, because that's what they call me in middle school. I ain't go by Racine because y'all know that story. I ain't like my name. So he like, I was like, yeah, bro. I said, so I ain't even gonna hold you. He said, so somebody told you we was gonna jump you. And like when he said those words, somebody told you we was gonna jump you. It was like the other members that he was with, they all kind of stood up. So I stepped back. I was like, yeah. I said, oh shit, I should have just went. I should have just left and not gone to the bathroom because it's about to go down. I'm taking one of these niggas with me though. So it was, yeah, y'all said y'all was gonna jump me or whatever, cause me and him got a problem and he rock with y'all or some shit. It was like, we don't even fuck with this nigga. We don't know him. So he's like, oh, he was like, and he dapped me up. He said, nah, bro, I don't even know you. We ain't got no problem. We had a problem. Hey, bro, for real though, at some point we gotta stop talking to women about masculinity and start talking to each other about it. And I mean really talk to each other. Not as enablers and co-signers, but as men trying to reach the pinnacle of our essence. And that's what the So Frail series does. So Frail 1 is the definition. So Frail 2 is the acknowledgement. And So Frail 3 is the resolution. If you rock with the So Frail conversations, I can guarantee you will rock with the So Frail series of books. So visit IamJustSaying.com right now so you can add the series to your library. I promise you will never look at masculinity the same again, and you're going to stop wasting your time arguing with women about it. This is a conversation that men need to have between men, and it's time we start having this conversation now. Because now this ties to the second half of this shit. Me and him beefed for 3 years, right? Sixth grade, into sixth grade, seventh grade, and eighth grade over women. I took his girls. I didn't know I was taking his girls. You feel me? But this shows the delineation of what I'm talking about. All of the violent dudes, the dudes that played the sport. Y'all hear me say this shit all the time. Like the sports dudes, the motherfucker. Like I was that with them, but I didn't have to do none of that. I didn't play sports, but I was able to get all the girls the athletes got. You feel what I'm saying? Because they're supposed to be the upper echelonian dudes. They're like, oh, you know, you got the football, and then you got the basketball, and then you got soccer, and then you got everybody else. So, like, if you a sports person, you got quote unquote first dibs of the girls. Thinking, I'm with y'all. I get all. So this is the situation. He played football. He's in the middle school, but the guy played football, but he was also one of the violent people. And I'm putting it in context right now because seventh grade, again, motherfucker just wanted to test the waters to see if he wanted to fight. Like, I have some kind of essence that when you see me, it makes you feel like I'm a threat. Why, I don't fucking know. But he just felt like he wanted to try me. Like so many dudes that I would always run into just felt like they wanted to fight me because they felt like you the alpha, you the apex. I'm like, I'm not that. I'm not trying to be that. If I give off that energy, that just shows that there's something in you that you lacking. It ain't got shit to do. We kids, bro. So seventh grade, they like, he's sending people to test me. So he asked this dude, he's like, yo, you think you could beat? I was like, I don't know. I never seen him fight before. He's like, you think you could beat his homie? I don't know. I never seen him fight before. They were like, they got good hands. I don't care. I just never seen him fight before. And I think that's where it started because I told him, I was like, I never seen him fight before. I don't give a fuck what y'all say. I've never seen them fight before. So I don't know the mechanics of how he gets down, what I got to dodge, what I got to move. Now, mind you, I'm processing shit like this at 12 years old. This is why I'm saying I never seen them fight. So I don't know what the fuck they got going on. So matter of fact, I beef with two of them. So it ended up being the reason why we stopped fucking with each other, or the reason why after dapping me up saying we not gonna jump you, the reason why me and him started beefing because one of the girls that he was going with, we was in the sixth grade, towards the end of sixth grade. She used to like, yo, you gonna give me a hug today? You gonna like, you got a man. You feel me? So I gave her a hug and shit, but I'm in sixth grade. I didn't care. I didn't know the rules of this shit, bro. So I took her, which is crazy because in a wild plot twist, quote unquote, she's technically my sister-in-law now because my old homie married her and shit. Like it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. Like we don't talk like we used to and shit, but like we still come around for the holidays and shit. You know, we link up. So it's like he with her now. So it's like, damn, it's crazy. It's crazy. But anywho, so it's like after that, I noticed that this nigga started. So it was that she was his girlfriend. And, you know, I ain't take her, but after they stopped going together and shit, me and her start talking. It's different, right? It was her, and then it was another woman that he went with. And then his homeboy, I went with one of his girls and shit. And then motherfuckers was like, it seemed on paper like I was taking their girlfriends, but it's like, bruh, we're at the top. I never forget when I was in the eighth, by the time I had made it to the eighth grade, it was, you're one of the cutest boys in middle school. And there was 8 of us at that level. That was everybody was checking for. And I was up there. I was the only one that wasn't violent. I was the only one that wasn't known for violence. Could I get with the violence? Yes. Did they know I can get with the violence? No. But I let it be the goofy ladies, man, the playful motherfucker. It's like, you know, niggas never. It's like, I was ready for the fight. They just didn't want to smoke. You feel me? The one time I almost got into a fight in school, in middle school, because I told my mom in the 4th grade I'd never fight in school again. But the one time I almost got into a fight in middle school was when I almost got into. But the first one was this dude. He was like, yo, I heard you want to fight. I said, yep. I said, because you've been telling people that I said something that I didn't say. So I want to slap the shit out of you for it. Now what you want to do? Oh, no, I ain't been telling nobody shit. Don't come up on me like that. I slap the shit out of you. I beat the hell out of you and then send you back where you going. You feel me? So this dude, it was when me and my homie, we was cool. Like he went down a different class. So I was ended up by myself. So the same dude took his girls and shit or whatever. I didn't take him. Like, it's just dude, like all the girls are gonna like the top picks. I'm one of the top picks, bro. Like, it's just the way it is. Like, it's just the way it is. I'm up there with y'all. You feel me? And the sad part about it is I was up there with y'all and I wasn't like a overly entertaining, dancy, flexy ass motherfucker. I wasn't that shit. It was just me. I was just seen, bro. Like, I've always been just me and I've been able to do what I need to do as me. So as he's, you know what I'm saying? This is 8th grade now at this point. 7th grade was when I got, oh, you heard he can fight or whatever. I ain't never seen a fight. So by 8th grade, I took his girl. Damn, I even took one of his homies' girls too, because they was in a clique. I took her twice. You know what? I see why they didn't fuck with me. I see why they didn't fuck with me. Like, all they girls. I like when I think about the three amigos that they was, I had all of their girlfriends at some point. Wow. Wow. I get it. I get it now. I see why niggas is mad. I now in hindsight, I feel I took the girls. I took the girl. I see why. I see why. Because you know the conquest. You know, hatred of men because of the like misogyny, the hatred of men because of competition between men or whatever the case may be. Like, there's little nuances that I know about shit because of the observations that I have. I'm that attuned to paying attention to shit. You feel me? That's why in So Frail I, I say what I say. You feel what I'm saying? That's why I say what I say. But I told dude, I was like, look, bro, what we gonna do with this? You feel me? It's like, I'm not fighting you over no girls. I'm not. If you have a legit reason why you don't fuck with me, then if it's valid enough for me, you feel me? Like, one day we was walking. Mind you, this about 8th grade and shit. Now, my right hand man at the time, it was like, yo, bro, like, have my back. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. So we walking. It's me and him first. And they walking behind us, but don't nobody say shit. Don't nobody say shit. This is what pissed me off. It's him, his homie, and like his cousin. It's like a good 6, 7 people, and it's just me and my right hand. I'm like, they not saying shit. So we dap each other off. He go to the right. I go up the stairs. And then when I go up the stairs, that's when the nigga say, hey, Curtis, I heard you want to fight me. Nigga, why you ain't do this when my man's was right here? You want to do it when I'm by myself and there's 5 of y'all and there's one of me? But guess what? Ego is a motherfucker. My brother told me I can never be a bitch. My brother told me I can never run from a fight. My brother told me certain shit that I can't do. He taught me certain shit. So I said, bro, if you heard that I wanted to fight you, we would have fought a long time ago. I'm just saying, man, a lot of people told me, and I'm just saying we would have fought a long time ago if you really wanted to. But if you want to fight, let me know when we get up these stairs, because I'm not going to fight you in the stairwell. But let me know when we get up these stairs. No, I'm just saying, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Deaded it. It didn't happen. It didn't go nowhere. So in my man's, I'm like, yo, why they wait until? He said, cause they know I had your back. They knew they wasn't gonna fight you. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, so it was gonna be 6. I'm like, what kind of essence do I give off where 6 niggas want to? Oh, it's always a whole bunch of niggas that want to scrap little old me. Mind you, back at that time, I had to be a good like 5'4", 5'4". I probably hadn't even broken 120 pounds yet. Niggas wanted to fight me. I wasn't even doing push-ups like that, bruh. You feel me? I was a ladies' man. I was a ladies' man, bro. I would talk your girl draws off. And it wasn't like I was a flirt. It was just my conversation was that good that you didn't even know you captivated at some point. And then next thing you know, you just falling for me. And then it's like, he's smart. He this. He's cute. He's that. And then I had braids too. So at the time, Bow Wow was just coming out, right? So I milked that shit. I ain't gonna hold you. I ain't going around claiming that I was little Bow Wow, right? Because I had hair as long as his, right? Motherfucker like, oh my God, she looks like Bow Wow. Oh my God, she looks like Bow Wow. I don't look like no fucking Bow Wow. Then I started milking that shit. I started using it, leveraging it. But it was a point of they only fuck with me because I look like a sexy motherfucker that they like. They had this nigga on their posters and their walls and shit. This little Bow Wow, nigga. You feel me? Mind you, like I'm like twice this nigga height now at this point. But I'm like, yo, y'all, I don't look like this motherfucker. But again, it was a sex appeal. That's the only reason why they fuck with me. Because I was cute. You feel me? The sex appeal. I had hoes. I had hoes, so I didn't have to have hands, but I did have hands just in case the hoes didn't work out. You feel me? So as I segue into, high school and I leave out of this shit, the violence is there. But that's when I say, I don't want to be violent. Because what happened? So that teacher, okay. So with that violence and shit, and we on the air, like that whole beef, me and that nigga was beefing for a long time. Again, over some girl, like all his girls I had. I was like, yo, and it was, I'm like, again, bro, I didn't have them because I had them. I had them because it was coincidence, bro. Look, look, it's only 8 of us that are the top guys here. It's 8 of the girls that are top. Like, so I had all of the top girls that were the cutest girls in the middle school or whatever the case might be. I went with them. Cutest girls in the 8th grade at the time, I went with them when I was in the 8th grade. Cutest girls in the 7th grade, I went with them when I was in the 7th grade. You feel what I'm saying? I went with them. It just so happened that y'all niggas went with them too. You know why? Because we are that. And we got to be comfortable with being that together. You feel me? But their perspective was out of violence. All of them niggas was known for fighting. Them niggas got hands. I wasn't known for fighting, but somehow I was known. I shouldn't have been known because I was supposed to be the nerd. I was supposed to be the little geek. I was supposed to be the, how in the fuck you fucking with our hoes and we can fight, nigga? I can fight too. I just don't know why y'all don't think I can. I know what it was. I wasn't such a grungy type motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? My mama didn't send me to school dingy. You feel me? I had braids. You feel me? I had my hair done every 2 weeks. So they thought I was a pretty boy. You feel me? Bitch, I'll fuck you up. I will fuck your whole world up, boy. Pretty or not, you better leave me the fuck alone, nigga. Don't let these braids fool you, bro. And then right, I got long ass eyelashes, right? I got long ass eyelashes. So I don't know. I just don't look like a threat to motherfuckers. This is shit. I don't know. I had braids, long eyelashes, my skin glowed and shit, or whatever it glue. You feel me? I was like, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I was a pretty motherfucker, yo. Like I was some shit. Like no. I don't want to have to say pause, but I'm saying it's in context. Like I was literally a pretty motherfucker. Like I've had this, like not only from that moment, like all my life, women have told, like I've been called handsome. I've been called like, but more times than being called handsome and shit, I've been called pretty and beautiful. Like shit that you know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, you are like I've had like I never forget this. I was in undergrad. I felt like an animal. I smashed too, but I felt like an animal because it was like she invited me to her room. I'm in her room chilling, right? And she literally just rubbing my waves. And she's like, you are so beautiful. And I'm like, thank you. But I'm like, I ain't no fucking dog. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you, right? You feel what I'm saying? But it's like, she didn't call me handsome. She wasn't calling me cute. She's like, yo, you're a beautiful man. I was like, I ain't know how to take it at the time because I'm like, I ain't no fucking beautiful man, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? The eyes, the eyelashes, all of the shit. All of that shit transpired back then. So when I was there, it's like, this nigga's a pretty boy. I beat him up. No, you won't. No, you won't. I would beautifully beat you the fuck up, bro. Like for real. So that was the thing. I think like they just wanted to try me because they thought I was a bitch. They thought I was a bitch because, you know, quote unquote, I was the pretty boy. You feel me? I had braids, but my hair was past my shoulders. It was long. The girls, ooh, can I braid your hair? Fuck no. Only my mom and my sister can braid my hair. Sorry. But they just wanted to be in my hair, you know, for the reason they want to be in my hair. So it's like that transpired, right? So by the time I got into like as I'm moving through high school, that's when I started to see it change. Because by middle school, I was like, man, fuck it. We going, you know what I mean? I said, I don't want to be violent. I already made a promise to my mama when I was in the 4th grade. I said, I'm not gonna fight in school no more. In the 4th grade. So I said, I can't be violent in school. So how am I gonna get by? I gotta be the ladies' man and shit, right? You feel me? They liked and they like, because I had one of my cousins told me, he said, yo, bro, he said, you want to get some girls? This was when I was in my face. Like, yeah, he said, get mad one day. He said, act like you mad. And just be like, watch how she try to calm you down. That's how you get her. I was like, what? He said, yeah, man. You were like, yo, man, these motherfuckers is playing with me. And just let her, yo, it's okay. Don't do it. I used to milk that shit too in middle school. I used to front mad. But now I see why, though. I see why it was broken. I used to front mad and shit. And then when Shorty's just like, yo, and then we catch a vibe and shit. Next thing you know, this is my friend. And now we got numbers and shit. And it was different. It was different, homie. It was different. Damn, man. Damn. So by high school, I decided I was gonna be a hoe. I decided from there, I said, I just want to be lazy, man. I'm not gonna get in trouble for fighting unless my niggas fight and I got their back. But I remember we were about to have a whole school war one time on some other shit. But that's not here nor there. So we developing and I'm like, so this is when it gets me. I start to see that everybody sees, everybody knows that there's a delineation, but it's two sides to it. Like, so when people found out that the violent niggas was my homies, I mean, like administrative staff, they found out the violent niggas was my homies. They're like, you know them? Yeah. Like, I remember the assistant principal. She was talking to my little brother and shit. Like, you feel me? This is like he my right hand too. So it's like, and this happens to be the little brother that married a chick that was with that like the nigga that it's that whole story, right? So anyway, so my right hand man, he's talking to the assistant principal, and I'm like, Miss King, what do you do now? She said, you know him? I said, yeah, that's my little brother. She was like, are you serious? I was like, not biologically, but blood couldn't make us any closer. And she was like, keep him straight. I was like, nigga, I said, what was you doing? He said, skipping. I said, oh shit. And she caught you? I ain't give a fuck, bro. But it's like, he was on the violent side. So much so, like, when he fought, he was about to fight. And I told him how to fight somebody, take him to the bathroom, whatever the case may be. Like, so he didn't get in trouble. He got that from me. So when people used to find out that we was cool, he used to be like, that nigga worse than me. What you mean? Like, he taught me. I was like, I ain't teach him shit, bro. I ain't teach him shit. And that's why when he was fighting in the bathroom that time, motherfuckers was like, yo, like, y'all gonna jump him? I said, nah, I ain't gonna jump him, bro. I said, my man's gonna beat him up one-on-one. I said, I beat him up one-on-one. I said, but my little man's is gonna beat him up one-on-one. And y'all are gonna see that, what I would do to him one-on-one. You just seeing it, bro. Like, watch. My man's gonna dust him off. My man's dusted him off, beat him the fuck up. And I was like, see, why would I fight him? I taught him how to fight. I didn't really teach him how to fight, but we would fight. We would spar a lot. So I was like, yo, like, I know how he gets down and I could beat him. But when I seen him fight, I said, no, this nigga been lying dormant, bro. Like, I don't know. I might need to tighten my skills up if he's scrapping like this. But I was like, all right, it is what it is. After that fight, everybody started knowing him. They be like, yo, that nigga got hands, bro. I fucks with, bro. That's my nigga, bro. No, he's not. That's my little brother. You feel me? He don't fuck with y'all. He fuck with me, and I fuck with him, and we don't fuck with y'all. Y'all only want to be in that space because he could fight. Then that's when it escalated to bigger shit. You feel what I'm saying? Because of that, that's what he got known for. You feel me? Again, I was known for having the hoes. So much so that my nigga was like, yo, bro, you always got the bitches. I don't always have the bitches. I just sit somewhere and the bitches come. Respectfully, I'm not calling y'all bitches now in these days of time, but in the time, that's how it was. We get to school, we pull up, and then we just sit somewhere. He's like, yo, bro, where we need to go with it. I said, bro, watch this. The girl's gonna come to me. When I first said that to him, because this had to be my junior year in high school, it was his freshman year because he was just getting there. So he was like, nigga, you ain't that nigga. I said, yo, I'm telling you, nigga, I'm that nigga. Just watch. He was like, what you mean? I said, watch. I said, look, we don't chill to be. I said, the girls come to us. He was like, all right. So we sat down on this little brick thing, posted up. And then I was just chilling. He said, as you're walking, he's like, nigga, you know everybody. Motherfuckers dapped me up and shit. Then literally the girls came and sat down. And it was just, he was like, bruh, I know, man. I told you, bro. I'm that because I didn't want to be violent anymore. So I had to channel it the other way. Because these are what gave us our status. So like I said, I'm going into it being a ladies man and shit. So they know me from one side. So again, it goes back to that pretty boy shit. Oh, that nigga wouldn't bust a grape in the fruit fight. No, bitch, I make wine in this motherfucker. Don't play with me. Y'all got me fucked up. So the very homie. Now, this is when we started beefing between cities, right? So I don't know what it is with my family, but my family at this high school, we beef with whole cities. I don't know why whole cities want to fuck with us, but they wanted to fuck with us. My brother, when he was in high school, I think it was Greene County. No, wait, what's the city? Grifton. That's what it was. So my brother was literally about to fight, quote unquote. Like when I hear this, like Grifton niggas, it wasn't like a nigga from Grifton. It was Grifton niggas. That's what they called themselves. Grifton niggas. Like he had that. Like it was so many of them that my sister was gonna have to jump into the fight. And my brother's like, fuck it, it is what it is, right? Fast forward to me being in high school, my homeboy being in high school. We've beefing with the whole city of LaGrange. It's a whole motherfucking city, nigga. Like, it's like, nigga, it's just us two, nigga. We beefing with LaGrange, nigga, the city. Fuck it. So the thing is, again, this ties into the status. My respect came from having hoes. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. When you got girls in your circle, when you have girls at your disposal, niggas will fuck with you solely because they can be in the presence of women at will. So they will respect you on that. And here's what I mean by that. My homie, he threw a tag can. He was in the gym with this dude. He threw a tag can. Dude from the Grange. Threw a tag can at a wall. It bounced off the wall, hit dude. My homie, the same one that beat the other dude up in the bathroom, the same one that's like, yo, he said, my bad, bro. I apologize. He don't apologize for shit. We don't apologize for shit. It is what it is. He said, I really made a mistake. Okay? Dude wilding. Nah, for that, blah, blah, blah. He said, yo, bro, my bad. I said I was sorry. And dude still wild. He said, you know what? Fuck it. Now what you want to do? A part of our essence is with that violence is like, yo, nigga, I'm not gonna be nice no more. So I can't let you bitch me in front of everybody because I already apologized and you still wilding. So I get a text. He like, yo, we gotta go to LaGrange. Nigga, for what? Nigga, we got beef. Nigga, how did you get us into beef with a whole city, nigga? What did you do? So I'm like, nigga, I'm mad at first because I'm like, nigga, you always getting us into some shit because it's the violent side. This is the same little nigga that pulled the BB gun out on some niggas that had real guns and got us chased around the neighborhood with one shotgun slung and some beat. This that nigga, man. I love my nigga to life though. This him. If y'all remember that story. So this him, right? He, you know what I'm saying? This is him. So he's like, yo, fuck it. So I'm like, yo, you always getting us into some shit. I was right for saying that. Nigga, you is always getting us into some shit. But this time he ain't getting us into no shit. So, mind you, we walking. He come out of lunch and shit. I'm like, he like, yo, we got beef. He said, we gonna see. So he like, yo, bro, we gotta go to LaGrange. I'm like, nigga, what? He said, yo, these niggas, he said, all of these niggas, they try to jump me. I was like, what niggas? The way they position themselves is on some, they distant, but they surrounding him and me, but without me being aware of them surrounding us. That's how much space is between it. So it looks like just regular students standing around. So he like, these niggas, and he looking around. And I'm like, I don't see no fucking body because I don't. Because these niggas I fuck with, they fuck with me. So I dap them up and I say, bruh, do your thing, bro. I'm going to see you in class, whatever. And afterwards, I turn around and walk, and then the circle swarmed them. So that lets me know two things. One, either there was a respect for me or there was a fear of me to where I'm not going to run up on Ray right now because he with his mans. But when he dipped, that's when we going to run up on him. So I parted out of the space and shit, and something said, turn around. I turned around. Now, mind you, I was the nigga for hoes. I wasn't known for having hands. That didn't mean I didn't have them. So I broke through the circle after they surrounded my nigga and shit. And I'm like, hey, yo, what's going on? Hey, yo, Ray, the problem ain't even with you. If you got a problem with my little brother, you got a problem with me now. Like, that's how this work. You feel me? So the nigga make a comment and he like, yo, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yo, niggas, my nigga like, yo, so what y'all want to do, bro? How we want to do this? My big brother, when he taught us, he was like, yo, when y'all about to get circled or y'all about to get jumped, put yourselves back to back. So we talking shit, you feel me? But they don't even know that we're positioning ourselves. So we get to a point where we scoping out how many motherfuckers. We already factored. That's why we don't like, these niggas surrounded us, but we had already calculated the whole win. They would have lost. Because by the time they talking to us, we already back to back. I'm like, so what y'all trying to do? And they're like, nah, Ray, the problem ain't even with you. You feel me? And so we like, all right, bet. So he's like, yo, why don't y'all come? So we like, we'll be out on LaGrange. And so my homie made a comment. And he made a valid comment because it's like, you want to warn niggas of war. Like, nigga, know that you're going to war when you go to war. Like, you feel me? So he told him, he was like, hey, yo, if we come to LaGrange, we bring in the guns. He said, we got pistols for that. He said, we'll come out there, but we bring in the guns. And he said, nigga, we got AKs on deck. Nigga, come on. I looked at my man. I said, say less. We'll be there. And I said, don't say nothing else. I said, come on, go to class. I pulled him. I literally just grabbed him by his shirt. I pulled him out of the circle, the very circle that was surrounding us. I just threw him. I just not threw him, but I kind of pulled him out of the circle and said, all right, we'll be in LaGrange. And started walking. There was no more talk. There was like the whole, you can hear a rat pissing on cotton. Everybody just got quiet, stuck like, what just happened? I was like, we're going to be in LaGrange. We'll be there. And we walked off. We had already made the calls. He was like, yo, we're going to come on, grab the guns, we out. He get a text 4 period. He said, man, them niggas pussy, man. I was like, what you mean? He said, they told me they don't want no beef. I bet. Because we was really going to LaGrange. Like, I knew where them niggas lived. They didn't know where we lived, but I knew where them niggas lived. We had weapons. We had vehicles. We was literally going to LaGrange. He was going to fight him one-on-one. But I was going to lay the shit on the car and just sit on the hood and say, No, y'all jump in, it's over. Like that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be a one-on-one fight. Anybody jump in, that's it. I shouldn't have been thinking like that at 16 and 17 years old, but I was thinking like that at 16 and 17 years old because of the violence program. I never really expressed it, and that's like the women love the fact that, I was the ladies' man, but then I can be violent because the ladies' man will supersede my violence. I would put that in front of, but it made me a hoe. I would cheat on you before I would cheat on you before I got violent because that's the status, homie. Because now I gotta fuck up. Like when I cheated on women, I cheated once. But when I cheated, it was a fuck up. I learned never fuck down, fuck up. If I gotta cheat and I gotta fuck up the situation, nigga, shit. At least it's gonna make sense. You gonna be hurt, you gonna be broke, but then it's gonna fuck with your confidence and your self-esteem because you're like, oh, that she was really a beautiful woman. It ain't like you know what I mean? Like, no, no, I've never been on that type time. You feel me? But all in all, I'm saying that because my status has always been defined in one of two ways. My niggas, the homies that I grew up with, and I know I had that episode. Oh my God, stop saying my niggas. I know I'm trying to stay in the dramatic space for this conversation for this one though. But like my niggas, the ones that I grew up with and shit, they knew me for violence. Outside of that, people knew me as a ladies' man. I had the same principal that pulled my young homie out and was like, "Yo, keep him straight and shit." I was in her office because two girls was fighting over me. I smashed both of them, but I'm like, so she called me in there. She like, why do I have your name on two different write-ups? I said, who the fuck wrote me up? I ain't say fuck, but I'm like, who wrote me up? She said, no, that's the thing. You didn't get wrote up. Your name is implicated in two different write-ups for two women fighting. I was like, what are their names? And they had the same name. My own shit, bro. They had the same name. Yo, cause man, I was a different type of pimp. I was a different type of pimp, yo. It's easier to keep track when they got the same name. I never slipped up. So when I was doing my hoeing, a lot of the names overlap. Like I got, you feel me? So these two names, it was like, yeah, y'all really beefing? Ooh, it's not my fault. And then one of the shorties was like, look, I'm beefing because she beefing. She beefing because of you. I was like, what? She was like, for me, the beef ain't about you, but for her, it's about you. And so now we got beef. And I was like, oh shit, damn. Oh well, because I was fucked up. It was on to the next one. You feel me? On to the next one because that's how I got my status. Like being a ladies' man, like I was respected for that. You feel me? Because like I said, on that regard, like I mentioned the side of the violent side, blue collar workers, sports athletes. What is the ladies' man? What is the ladies' man? That's the professional. That's typically he becomes the professional type motherfucker, white collar type shit. But there's something set for every one of them. The violent motherfucker, there's a prison for him. There's also a prison for the sexual motherfucker. Because that's a different level, right? That's a different level. And then when you merge your sexual side with your violent side, you become a rapist. Like people be thinking like you have to have some sadistic type shit to be a rapist. Like the motherfucker has something. No, he's conflicted between two realities right now. Two realities that develop the status of a man. Whether he has hands or has hoes. So these type motherfuckers have hands with their hoes. You feel me? They're violent with the women. So they're either going to be like physical abusers. They're going to be abusers. And at the end of the day, they're going to be abusers. Physical abusers at that. So they're going to be a rapist or like a violent domestic type shit. That's when the lines get blurred. Because all in all, this is what we respected for. You feel me? I know we talk about abuse being wrong and shit, and it is. But as a kid, when you grow up realizing that a ladies' man can hit a woman and it's okay, it's funny. Pimp slapping somebody is funny. Like when a pimp slap a bitch and shit, it's like little shit like that is funny. But it's like, cause it's you know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh, they hoes, they this, that, and the third. Like you get these titles so you can inflict certain shit. This goes back to the episode of title. Like you don't respect the essence of a being when they have a title. If I call a woman a hoe, she's nothing to me. Pimp slap hoes. So if y'all are my hoes, I can slap y'all. You feel me? Like I said, it doesn't register until you have a daughter. or until you internalize, okay, like you wouldn't do no shit. Like you wouldn't let a motherfucker slap your sister. Hoeing or not. You feel me? A sister can go and become a prostitute, get turned down in the game. He gonna go find her and shit. That's still his sister, bro. You feel me? When Pop mom was smoking crack, like that was still his mama though. Like, you feel what I'm saying? It's little shit like that. That's like that's the thing about the title. You feel me? It could fuck up the essence of how the status that you see the person as. You dig what I mean? So while we watching and we waiting and we looking at this overall shit, it's like, and I'm gonna start trying to wrap it up here. This is what they program us for, y'all. They want us to be one of these two types of men, and our status is developed off of that. So now, with the status that we develop, like I said, because I don't want to dwell too much on that, so we're gonna wrap it up. So with the statuses that we develop, like I said, we either go into a vein where we're either gonna be the physical representation of quote unquote a man or the sexual representation of a man. The heartthrob, the ladies' man, the like, it's a lot of problematic shit. So now everything that we do when we live our life is defined by our status. Our status has changed. What happens when you lose your status? What happens when your status gets stale? It's little shit like that. Because we don't know that our essence has to exude. It's motherfuckers out here trying to be like that's the thing about it. Like when I look at the people who's like, yo, I like these types of women back in the day. Okay, you weren't violent and you weren't the ladies' man. You were a whole different type of motherfucker that we weren't even programmed to respect yet. We only respected those who had hands and had hoes. You wasn't fighting and you wasn't with no girls. You feel what I'm saying? So we wasn't looking at you like that. And now, these same motherfuckers. Now, let's look at the motherfuckers who never had status. They didn't have hands or had hoes. You know what happened to them? They became cops. They became the motherfuckers that are pretty much in the position. They're the nerds that rule the world. Like, they don't want nerds that run the world. Because they create the world. Like, the world has been created a misogynistic way to create the quote unquote alpha modicum. It's like, yo, nigga, I'm an alpha male. Bitch, fuck you. You ain't shit. Alpha male ain't shit. It ain't even a real person. You're not a fucking animal. But you are alpha in regards to when you have set yourself apart between the delineation but having hands and having hoes. Think about that. That's what the alpha is. The apex. The apex predator who can both have hands and have hoes without blurring the lines. Niggas, like, this is literally what they want. Our status is determined on who can be the most, like, the alpha shit, the masculine shit is because you're the most violent, but you're disciplined with your violence, and you're the ladies' man who isn't a hoe. That's what they're calling the high value man. That's what it's like. Oh, I can control myself. I can do this. Like, shit. You know how easy that is, bro? You know how easy that is? And that's what makes it so difficult to want to go beyond. Because if off these basic levels we can get respect, why would I try to actually do something challenging to grow respect for myself? No. I'm just going to do what's easily able to get respect. I'll be violent. You feel me? Or I'll be a ladies' man. Simple. And I'll channel that violence and express that in a certain way. And when I'm doing it, I'm going to do it well. Up until it backfires. Then it's like, oh, what happened? You feel me? It wasn't until like you paid attention to the 200th episode, but it was like, this is like I went down a different avenue than my homies. I wasn't the violent one, and I also wasn't the one who got in trouble and went to jail for drugs and gun charges and beating people up. A lot of my niggas who were the violent motherfuckers who, you know what I'm saying, who took the violent path, their charges include things of, gun charges, uh, manslaughter with intent to inflict serious injury, some shit like that, cut motherfuckers with box cutters and shit. Like, you feel me? Their charges are a certain way. You feel me? They're violent charges. On the other side of that, sexual charges. I was the one who succumbed to the sexual side. You feel me? I was the one who succumbed to the sexual side. I'm grateful that I didn't get charged. I'm grateful that, you know what I'm saying, like, it didn't go the way it was supposed to go. And I know that it went the way it was supposed to go, but on paper, I don't know what that feel like. Y'all know what that feel like. But I had to come to terms like, so this is the only outcomes for it. I said, oh, this is a system. This is a plan. They make us this way. So now, when you get the black men who are neither one of these things, you call them gay. It's weird. It's weird. Call them gay, or you outcast them. This is the only time I'm gonna give this pass because it's in context of what we're saying. I get why y'all don't date black women. The ones who don't date black women who don't want to stay black, I get why. Because to stay here, I get it. Because of the way the culture is set up to stay here, you either gonna have to be violent or you're gonna have to be a womanizer, and you don't want to be neither. So you're gonna go to a culture, you're gonna go to a space, you're gonna go to an experience where you don't have to be violent. But here's the thing about it: because you're a black man, they're gonna see you violently. You just don't have to be the violent motherfucker no more. That's the beautiful thing about being black. One of the beautiful things about being black and being a black man, and the fact that they have over violentized us, right? That's not a word, but I'm gonna use it. They have over violentized us to the point where, as a black man, I don't have to be violent. But if I go into another race, I have now crossed over to being the alpha. I don't even have to fight. I don't even have to get aggressive. They already see me as the aggressor. I could be the bitch where I'm at, but they see me as the aggressor over here. So I don't have to be violent. You feel what I'm saying? Makes sense. Makes sense why they would do that. You feel me? Imagine where I can live in a space where I don't have to be the protector and the provider. I don't have to actively protect and provide because I'm in a space where motherfuckers fear me. Over here, where it starts off where our standard is set off of violence, don't nobody fear that shit, nigga. We only respect violence. You feel what I'm saying? So, in the culture that I'm in, me dealing with, a black woman, I have to understand the violence that could come with, because chances are, if she's dealing with me, then we're gonna frequent the people that are like us when it comes to, connections and shit. So the type of dudes that come, I gotta be able to be violent with these type of motherfuckers, right? They're not gonna look at me and say, oh, he's violent, I'm not gonna mess with him. No, they're gonna say, I'm black, we black. It's like, hey, he ain't a real one. He can't protect you from me. He don't let you have friends or whatever the case might be. He can't protect you from me. That's the whole perspective of it. Get you a real man, blah, blah, blah. You dig what I mean? And that challenge comes in because motherfuckers think you can't get violent. I was in med school one time. Well, I was in med school, and I was walking with the shorty and shit, and we was, dude, because I was walking with a dude, felt the need, hey, lady, talk to her. Like, he was trying to holler at her and shit, right? So I ignored the situation, and I just kept talking with her and shit because I'm like, guy. I am like, you don't get how I can get down. Like, you're trying, like, I had to tell her when she was like, I was like, I didn't say nothing. I said, I hope you don't feel the type of way because I didn't say anything, because I was like, it was the thing. It wasn't about you. It was about him and me saying something back to him. I know what I would have had to do to him when he responded. I'm already outnumbered for one. And for two, we're in a different country. I can't, what I mean? She said, I didn't expect you to do nothing like that. She's like, he was stupid. It was just, I ignored him too. It wasn't nothing he can get out of me. Like, whatever. But that's a part of it. A lot of dudes will see a dude and think I can get that girl because of you comparing it, like, and you're basing off of, oh, I'm violent, I can do it. Like, no, you can't do what I can do right now because you don't know what it is that I can do, because you don't know my status. You're basing it off the fact that you think you know what your status is, and you don't know how I get down with mine. And so when that, like I said, that competition between men, that's heavy, because if I can't beat you physically, I'm gonna take your girl. If I can't physically overpower you, I'll take your girl. This is why I say misogyny is not just the hatred for women. It's the competition between men, and the byproduct is the hatred of women. Because the greatest problem the best way for me as a man to beat your ass is to, one, beat your ass, for two, take your girl. Take your girl and give her back. It's different. It's different. You feel me? Because it shows a different level. Because now when you take my girl, I gotta fight you. But now I'm in a society that tells me, oh, I ain't about to fight over no hoe. Fuck these bitches and shit. No. You violated me, bro. That was disrespectful. But now I can't do nothing. So like I was saying, as men, we're predicated upon the conditioning of these two things. So the people who didn't get conditioned like that, they can't fuck with the culture, because the culture is fucked up. Right? So now you're like, oh, he went on with it. Yes, because he doesn't want to be violent. He doesn't want to be over-sexualized. Because in the same, you call them, because those same dudes, we used to call them bitches. And we used to laugh at them for not getting no pussy. Go figure. Like it's not no funny shit because it was tragic and it was fucked up. But when you really look at it, all of the dudes that are in interracial relationships, the dudes that mess with white women, Asian women, whatever the case may be, who will refuse to mess with black women, it is because of two specific things. They couldn't beat us up. They couldn't be violent enough to sustain themselves, and they wasn't the ladies' man. They didn't get the girls. That's it. And that's what that's what they were striving for. Either to be feared so the niggas don't pick on me, or, you feel me, get the girls, and the girls didn't like me. So now I'm gonna go to this other space, and now by default, because I'm black, I'm the token. Because I'm black, they automatically give me passes that I don't have to have. You dig what I'm saying? I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna wrap it up for real, for real. All right. I had a homie who grew up around white people, right? Who was in college. You know what I'm saying? It's a master's program type shit. And so it was, I could tell he was gonna fuck with a white girl, right? And in the way in which we were vibing and shit, it was, as we're talking and shit, I can tell, like, you're not about the life that I talk about. You feel me? When I listen to certain music, I listen to Games. Like at the time, Games Documentary 2 album came out. When that bitch came out, one of my favorite songs on it was "You Can Catch Me Rolling It Down." Crenshaw, Crenshaw. Is that a motherfucking Impala, bitch? Yeah. That was my shit, yo. Gang signs, watch us throw them out the window. So I felt that song because I grew up around that shit. Niggas, gang signs, watch you throw them out the window and shit. Like, you feel me? But on school buses and shit, throwing signs up and shit. You feel me? I got it. I got that, right? But he didn't get it, but he liked the music, so he was trying to emulate it. So one day we having a conversation, and it's like we vibing and shit, and I forgot what I was saying. He was like, "Nigga, sit your ass down." Now, mind you, he's from Kenya, right? So he's not necessarily. So I'm like, because we was joking or some shit, and I guess he was trying to talk to me as if he thought he was in the culture, in which I'm like, the culture comes with a certain essence too, that knows how to say what you just said to me. Your energy shows you're not speaking to me as my homie right now, or even in a joking manner. You're trying to speak condescendingly on me like I'm your son or some shit, bro. We got a problem. You feel me? And it's like, because we were in the master's program, we were around a lot of white people. For them to see off rip, because he's black, they're giving him the pass. He's like, I see that you're not violent. And that's okay. I'm not mad at you. Stop trying to be. Violence comes with shit. Violence comes with shit you don't want parts of. Trust me. So this is lady man shit, but violence really comes with shit that you don't. And I'm like, yo, we don't have to be that. I am that because I am that, not because I'm trying to be. You feel what I'm saying? But a lot of people don't want to take that into consideration and utilize that and leverage it according to what they're doing. So they want the image, but not the core, which catalyzes that. And not realizing that within the core that catalyzes that, your life is going to change. And so I'm saying that because it's like, I know that he dates the white women. It's the token. It's like, when I see the women that he's around, he looks so cool. He feels so confident. He feels so, quote unquote, alpha, because you're a black man. Everybody fears you naturally. But black men don't fear black men. You feel what I'm saying? Because it's like, oh, I know the violence because I'm in a culture. You feel what I'm saying? And then you have those black men who do fear the black men because they'll say shit like, you hear the women say, why aren't men? Because niggas is scared. Like, I don't think y'all understand how scary we can be. Look, I'm a violent motherfucker. That's why I'm not scared of other violent motherfuckers, right? But I know the violence that niggas can get to. There's motherfuckers who can get more violent than me that I know. I'm like, I wouldn't do no shit like that. Why would you try that? But then again, I've never been in a position to be as violent as you had to be. You dig what I'm saying? There's a level to this life that a lot of people don't want, and they base it off the status. So taking it from the status, they take this pseudo reality and they apply it to their whole life. And now they apply it, you know what I'm saying? So they decide, okay, I want to be here. That's why I'm like, I used to hate when I was in college and I used to hear niggas say, you feel me? Don't let the suit and tie fool you. Or don't like, I almost got kicked out of college my freshman year because I was about to fight. Cause I'm like, nigga, the fuck? Like, motherfucker, oh, you in college, you ain't here for that. All right, cool. Well, tell these motherfuckers don't be passive aggressive because I'm actively aggressive. The fuck? You got me fucked up, homie. You feel me? And they had to sit me down and talk to me. They're like, yo, bro, you can't be doing that. No, they can't be doing that in college. Y'all don't know who y'all fucking with. Y'all don't know who y'all fucking with. And it just so happened that I was in honors hall, so people thought they can just, I said, I ain't no bitch, bro. I will fuck everybody up in here. You feel me? It was like, yo, I am literally that. I'm from that area. Like, I'm from that, but I understand the level of violence and I accepted it. You feel me? Just like when I used to cross the street in undergrad and go to, the apartments and shit late at night. Like, why you going there? Be careful. I'm careful. I'm good. That's why I look like a thief. The fuck? I know how to look, nigga, before I go out this motherfucker. It's like, that makes sense. See, y'all ain't even smart enough to be violent. Y'all ain't disciplined enough to be violent. You feel me? And this is what I'm saying. It's like, and I'm saying this because these are the two mediums in which we develop. No matter what. We want to either prove that we hard and we ain't no bitch, or we want to prove that we can get hoes. That's it. That's it. So everything that we do is predicated upon that. You feel what I'm saying? I know dudes that'll say shit like, you feel me? Yeah, I smile and I deal with my mom, but I still break your motherfucking teeth. I used to be a motherfucker to say, I don't say that shit no more. Me breaking your teeth ain't got nothing to do with me smiling. You feel me? That's why I've learned to reach a point in my life where I'm just seen, because I'm like, y'all don't like, because you'll see me do some violent shit and be shocked. Like, oh, I thought you was happy-go-lucky or just a playful motherfucker. In playful situations, nigga, this is a violent time. I gotta be violent, nigga. The fuck you mean? You feel me? And then, of course, having hoes is, you reach a point where you just become a womanizer. Like, the thrill is like, you don't talk to women for the sake of conversation. I had to get to a point where I'm like, yo, y'all, women are dope. Like, I think it had to be maybe undergrad. It had to be maybe undergrad when I started. Yo, I like kicking it with women. Like, it got to a point where, like, I had a lot of women. Where I was always like, yo, you always with some women. But then when I started listening to, we just having conversation, I'm like, yo, y'all are really smart, bro. Y'all ain't just for fun. Y'all got some shit in y'all heads, bro. Like, y'all, I really started liking women for women. And it started changing my perspective because I realized that my type and my attraction weren't the same shit. And my type was predicated off of the fact that I was either going to be violent or have hoes. But my attraction was my full essence of who I am. And those were just small percentages of who I am in the totality. So when I look at how we are as men, our status is being predicated upon those two things. If we don't know how to maneuver within those two realms, what do we do with our status? Right? And if we're using our status to get respect, because respect is to men what love is to women, what extent will we go to make sure our status is solidified to where we're viewed respectfully? And don't forget to check out Cafe Clothing, formerly Just Scenes merch. Get all of your intricate designs crafted specifically for the melanated being to develop a positive imagery within self and to have a little bit of fun in the process. From the peace, love, knowledge, and freedom to the dead horses and water designs, all of the styles are crafted for the imagery to make you feel as you're supposed to feel. Because as I always say, the best way to fit in is to stand out. And what better way to stand out than with your exclusive styles from Cafe Clothing. All right. I'm going to go ahead and end it there. And that's status. And I know I could have been on status correction and everything, but these two particular topics, violence and shit like that's like, that's what we at as men. You feel me? And it's hard because it's like I said, women want violent men who get hoes, but you can't be violent and you can't have hoes. Women want a ladies man because they know he knows how to talk to a woman. They knows he knows how to please and fuck a woman and all this other shit. Women want a violent man because they know that they can be defended. Goes back to the survival shit, bro. Anything outside of those two things, like, and that's where the tolerance comes in. I'll tolerate if you can at least check these two metrics off. You feel me? You don't even get hoes. Like, the fuck? Like, you feel me? Because if you really got hoes, they wouldn't know what to do with it. You feel me? That's one of the scariest parts about who I am as a person, as far as, dating and relationships and shit. It's not scary. But in the past, it's been scary for women because they're like, you talk to women so easily. I know. But it's not because I want to fuck them anymore. Now, if this would have been a red flag for you, had this have been when I was in my early 20s, had this been when I was in my teens and shit, maybe even my mid 20s, but after I kind of got the hint. It's like it's not a problem. These women really become my platonic friends, and I know how to be a platonic friend with a woman. You feel me? This is my homie. This is my homie. A lot of women don't understand that and don't know how to get with that because of the 2 points of knowing that our status is determined. Without even knowing this, our status is determined on violence and us sexualization. You feel me? So when the women come into my space, they're like, yo, I want to like I like him because of this. Oh, you got that warrior spirit, and you smart, and you this and you that. I'm so much more than that, but I'm just letting you know, like I'm violent, nigga. I'm violent and I'm a hoe. And these are the 2 things that they programmed me to be when I was a kid, and they've been programming me to be a violent hoe for a long time. And now that I think about it, it's like, when did it start? Well, we was in slavery. We was programmed to be violent hoes. The Mandingo warriors, who was also breeders, to go work on a fucking farm, on a plantation, all day long, 400 years. We never stopped being that shit, y'all. The fuck? We never stopped being that shit. You feel me? We never stopped. And that's what's killing us. That's legit what's killing us. That's what's taking us out of this game. And what we have to do is correct it. So I guess maybe this is a status correction, but not the same correction that, it's the correction in the sense that we build our status of self, which gives us our esteem and our prestige based off of one of those 2 things, one of those dynamics, where I can be viewed as a threat because of violence. You feel me? Because you don't necessarily have to be physically violent. If I know that I can motherfucking the stroke of a pen can send you, like, that's power. I can be violent with that. You ever wonder why fucking judges and shit be giving niggas like 160, 30,000 years and shit? It's like, that wasn't even necessary, but it's a stroke of my pen. I was a bitch back in my day. They ain't like me. I didn't get any prestige or power until I got this gavel. I didn't get none of my hoes until I got this gavel. It's different. It's different. It's different. And we got to learn how to, as men, to see beyond that shit. This is why it's so easy for us to get consumed in the corporate bubble and doing the shit that the corporations, that level wants us to do when we get there, is because it's like, oh, nigga, we got y'all. Y'all gonna maintain your status. You feel me? You're either gonna be hypersexualized. You're gonna spend the rest of your life trying to, well, I'm not a hypersexualized motherfucker, and I'm not violent. I don't give a fuck about if a motherfucker says or not, I'm an angry black man. Yeah, bitch, I'm in America. I'm in a dangerous area. The fuck, I'm always gonna be violent. The fuck you mean? Violence is your response to danger, homie. The fuck you mean? Violence is your response to danger. If if you can't be violent, that means you can't identify danger. Danger gonna bust your ass, homie. Ooh, that shit different. That shit different. That shit is different. But it is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. You feel me? I learned that over time, we as men just have to break this stigma. We're more than this. We're more than this. We can't call ourselves gods and then see. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when motherfuckers be like, "Yo, we're polygamous," we was like, "No, nigga, you catering into that over sexualized side, having hoes." You feel me? Motherfuckers listen. Like, one of the things that I learned, like, I'm glad the way that I built my entrepreneurship, right? But I did it specifically like this for 2 reasons. With this first half of my first leg of my journey, I didn't have a woman in my space, for one, because I needed everybody to feel my essence, and for 2, I never really showed my face because it was about my essence being shown. You feel me? Rather than the decorations of what I could bring to this, what I bring to the space. Because now people will only fuck with you off of your status. People don't know what my status is, but I've had developed a strong core from people who can feel my essence. That's who, and in doing that, shit don't go to my head. Because now I can identify, oh, nigga, this is lust. You don't really fuck with me. You feel what I'm saying? You fuck with the reality. So now, when I get to that point, motherfuckers start seeing shit. Like, if I took a picture with multiple women and shit, like, motherfuckers should have go through like, because it caters to reality. He has hoes. Women love him. What is it about him? He doesn't have to be violent. He's the latest man. It's a whole different reality. You feel me? Violent. Oh, he plays sports. He's an athlete. He's in shape or whatever. Women want motherfuckers that can pick him up. You feel me? It's little subtle shit that makes it so much grander than what it really is, but it shows how fucked up we are and what we cater to. You feel me? It's wild because it's a cycle that we don't want to stop. Because our kids watch, look up, oh, it's like Mike Lowry or this, that person. It's like, then you start to see what women respond to. You become it. It's a crazy world because a lot of the guys want bad bitches, right? But the bad bitches that they want are largely a lot of bad bitches are insecure women. That's why a lot of bad bitches look alike. They follow the same stigma and shit, right? But if you like this bad bitch, you like the next bad bitch because all bad bitches follow the same template. So if you can't even get one bad bitch, then the bad bitches don't want you. So when the dudes be complaining about the baddies and shit, then it's like, yo, all the baddies are the same. If you can't get one, then you're not for bad. Bad bitches ain't for you. Like, no funny shit. They look the same. They talk the same. They think the same. They dress the same. All of this shit is the same. If you can't get one, nigga, how? Bad bitches ain't for you. That's why. Right? But this one I'm adding the insecurity to it because the same motherfuckers that you get you a bad bitch and she'll think you cheating on her. Don't nobody talk about that part. Because a lot of the bad bitches that are in the situation where they're the top or they're the alpha in the situation or whatever the case may be, they deal with the insecure man at that point. Because in dealing with the insecure man, their insecurities aren't shown. You feel what I'm saying? They're like, oh, if you're insecure, then that means you're not looking. You have no time to look at other women. However, when you're secure in yourself, when you're dealing with a bad bitch, now she knows you see the other bad bitches. Feel me? I was dealing with a woman one time who asked me, she was like, because we woke and shit, and she was like, well, if you're gonna do polygamy, can I pick the one? Who said I was gonna do polygamy? I never said anything about polygamy. You assumed it was about polygamy because you assumed that, oh, there's competition already. I fucks with you right now. You feel me? Not the other women. I fucks with you right now. But if all you can see is the other women, there's the insecurity because you the bad bitch. But you know these other bad bitches are just like, when all the bad bitches are the same, the bad bitches are wondering what is the one thing that's gonna, if the one thing that separates them is gonna be the one thing that you like, that makes you walk away from that bad bitch to go to the other one. You feel me? All because we have the stigma of having hoes, and that subtle change can always happen because, you feel me? They all the same because we have a type of hoe that we fuck with. You feel me? Which is something that we got to stop. Or, like I said, we're gonna be violent. And then we're going to create the relationship off of that. Krishan and Blueface, that relationship is not based off having hoes, it's having hands. Off both sides. Both them motherfuckers can fight. And they fight each other. I know it seems abusive. I know it seems fucked up, but they like the shit. Because that's how it's based. And we like the shit too because they are able to create their show, and keep the shit going and doing what they're doing because people watch it. How are you entertained by something you don't want to see? Because motherfuckers like that violent shit. They like the violent shit for one, and then the two, they like the hoes. Like, it'd be a lot of women on those shows. And Krishan just be beating them all up, bro. It's weird, like, nigga. But that's the game. That's what we tied to. Now you see why they like the gangsters. Now you see why they like the womanizers who, it's like, what, women pick better. And now I'm going to say this, I'm going to really wrap it up. This is why women can't pick better, because the template of man is based off of either having hands or having hoes. You're going to go down, and women cannot be in stable situations with men who are basing themselves off only having hands and having hoes. And we don't even know that that's what we built on. So yeah, we tell women choose better. There is no better if we all under the same template. Just like the bad, there's no such thing as a different bad. Like, bad bitches are a universal thing. Oh, my bitch is bad. And then you look at the picture, they got the same lace front. Largely got the same outfit. They all smoking hookah. You feel what I'm saying? It's the same shit. A bad bitch is the same. Yes, one has on Jordans and the other has on stilettos, but they the same motherfucker, bro. Same motherfucker, bro. And as long as we only want the hoes and shit, that's what we gonna chase, and then we're never gonna have an essence to find anything else. So it'd be women out here being, oh, they're overlooking us, they're not overlooking y'all. Y'all are not in the space to be seen, because the man that you want is not the man that you need in your life, is not the man that we programmed to be. But the man that we programmed to be is all that you're able to see. So I'm gonna go ahead and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And our sons, please, 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 please. We can start this early. Teach them to help them understand violence. Violence is the form of their responses to danger. If you have a violent kid, something that I've learned, it blew my mind. It's like every nigga that I knew, let me rephrase that. Every homeboy that I knew growing up who was violent as fuck was damn near helpless in his environment. So the danger in his own home, his own environment, he couldn't respond to, right? So the dangers of the world, he's not letting it slip. He's not letting it go by. Nobody wants to acknowledge that. Oh, that nigga's bad. No, nigga. All my homies that, like, you feel me, ended up fighting. Like, when I look at how they were as kids, like when we was kids and shit, going back and forth to each other's house, listen to how their parents spoke to him and shit like that. No, nigga, you was in danger all the time. So you stayed violent. Because this is the only way that you can respond to danger, but you can't respond to your living environment how you respond to the world. So you get to be violent with the world. And now it makes you more violent because you're constantly around the same dangers. And you don't want to tell anybody that you're afraid of the danger, so you become violent. You feel me? It's like that. It's like that. Let's make sure our sons understand what violence is early. Oh, so you're in a dangerous situation. You're responding to danger. If your child gets violent with you, somewhere down the line, they think you dangerous. They think you got them in a dangerous situation. I get it. You may think in your head, oh, I would never put my child. Your child don't know that. No, they responded to is the fact that I feel like I'm in danger, so I got to be violent. That's a natural human response to become violent when danger is present. Because violence comes from the same root as volatility. You feel me? Comes from the same root of volatility, same root of violation. It's an act against something. So when something's acting against me, I have to act against it, which makes me violent. So when I'm violent and I'm now a kid, and now I'm in an environment that is always dangerous. Like, niggas be thinking black men are just violent. No, nigga, we're always in danger. We're always in danger. Our danger is a normalcy for us. That means we're always going to be violent because there's always going to be danger to respond to. You don't think our boys are going to go through that shit too? You don't think our boys understand it? We don't see it because we're so used to it now. Our boys are not used to it. And it's getting worse because all we keep doing is trying to say, stop crying, be a man up and shit. We're telling them that the danger you're feeling, don't worry about it. But don't be violent. Don't respond to the danger you feel and ignore the danger. You can't ignore danger. Any motherfucker that can ignore danger is crazy. So your child being violent, your son becoming violent, he has to respond to the environment in which he's in, and that environment is danger. It's not a coincidence that most of us that rep the hood, that's in the shit, that talks about the violence, are around violence, around violence all the time. Heavily. We love the hood. We rep the hood. We do this shit for the hood, for the hood, for the hood. But the hood is a very dangerous place. And you wonder why these niggas is violent. Why you strapped? You shouldn't need it. Yes, I should. I'm in danger. I'm always around danger. You don't believe me? Every time another killing happens, a black woman or a black man comes on social media and say, "Oh, I'm scared for my child." Oh, so you admit that there's danger around. And you wonder why your baby becomes violent. Because there's danger always the fuck around. And I don't know how to do anything but be violent because that's a natural human response to danger. But that can't be the only response that our children have. And they can't be only responding violently. They need to understand what violence is, how to use violence. Otherwise, our sons will become and continue to perpetuate the barbarians rather than being the warriors. You still gonna get fucked up. But at the same time, you're not gonna get fucked up unmercilessly to where it's an eliminating thing. It's, oh, here's the danger that I'm experiencing. I need this danger to stop. It's only making the danger stop. That's what we need to teach our sons. Violent side. And stop having them be hoes so early, man. That's my little man, man. He my lady, man. Look, so many self-fulfilling prophecies. When I was 12 years old, a woman, grown-ass woman, looked me in my eyes. You feel me? Because again, I got beautiful eyes. Long eyelashes, the color of the brown that they are. When they hit the motherfucking light, it's Psh, you feel me? You feel me? Like I said, he used to call me a pretty motherfucker. You feel what I'm saying? So she looked me in my eyes and said, "You gonna break a lot of hearts when you get older. All the girls gonna want you." Why she would tell me that at 12, I don't know. I was thinking about Game Boy and shit, but it was a self-fulfilling prophecy. I ended up breaking hearts because of that. Any woman, "Ooh, I love your eyes." I got you. She already told me I can get all the girls that like my eyes, so I got them. You feel what I'm saying? We need to teach our sons to stop over-sexualizing and be over-sexualized. They don't have to fuck everything. You don't have to have hoes, and women aren't hoes. You got to stop having that conquesting mindset and learn to change and evolve. And if we can do that shit, the women gonna follow suit, because now we're in a space where the men. I need y'all to understand, we dictate the way our women think and the way our women are gonna go. I know a lot of people. I know you hear me say it all the time. Well, men are gonna go where women are gonna be, but women are gonna set the tone for what men desire. Change your desires, women change into it, and then now you go where, and it changes the reality. You feel me? Change the reality. And our sons, they got to be ahead of time. We can no longer raise violent womanizers anymore. Can no longer, violence and sexualization cannot be the medium for us, because that leads us down one of two routes. Unfortunately, for those routes, it's highest percentage is prison. But I'm gonna go and end it there. Go kiss your babies. Make sure they eat their vegetables. And I'm gonna see y'all all on the next one. Peace, love, knowledge, and freedom. I'm out.